I would imagine that this spring is a lot different and a lot different in a good way than it was for you last year. How is it different?
Well, I guess really at this time last year, I had the mindset I would still be playing. I didn't really know the final results of the decision that the NCAA would make, so I just assumed I'd be playing. So I'm kind of taking it the same way, but as far as the leadership role, that's probably a bigger thing. Not really, knowing the offense, but not really having pretty much the respect from all the older guys. We had a lot of older guys that could lead, so I was just kind of following them, following in their footsteps. They had been there before. But this spring, just teaching Davis. Davis came a long way last year, helping Jalen, helping Sage, and then obviously JC with me. That's been a good thing. So we're just trying to get everybody on the same group. I feel like we're very deep this year at tight end. So just trying to be the best group that we can be.
Tony Elliott was saying that he feels like this offense is at its best when a tight end is really involved in the passing game. Do you feel like you model maybe the Jordan Leggett type role a little bit more?
I'm really close with Jordan, or I wouldn't say really close, but we talk every once in a while. And I'm just trying to be the best version of myself. There's a lot of comparisons that go out there between me and him, maybe because our body types or whatever it may be. I'm just trying to go out and be the best player I can be every practice and just be the best player I can for this team.
Going back to the national championship game, that one play over the middle down the seam, is that something we can expect from you next year? Is that the kind of player you can be to affect that deep seam route?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I'm very confident in my speed and my abilities. And, I just trust in the coaches and their playmaking decisions to, put everybody in the right positions to make plays.
What are some of the things you're working on to improve your game this year?
Being more physical at the point of attack. That's probably the biggest thing, working on hand placement. Footwork is really big. I'm moving around a lot of different places. So in the backfield, whether I'm split out, motioning in, working on my motions, being faster with that. There's a lot of stuff to work on. You just try to get better at something every day. You only get 15 practices in the spring, so you have to use time outside of football to really get better at things.
I've always wanted to ask you, you've got this ink right here, bet on yourself with the cards and the dice. What's the story behind that?
Actually, a lot of my tattoos, they don't have meaning, but this one, going through last year, there was a lot of doubt whenever I came back, what kind of player I would be. And I'm just focusing on, like I said earlier, just being the best player that I can be and not really worried about the outside noises and stuff. But, all cards in on yourself and just don't really focus on the outside noise. Just keep working and everything will take care of itself.
So when you say doubt about the player you could be, you mean like from yourself or from the outside?
A little bit of both. I had been gone for a little minute. I know I was running this stuff, but in-game shape is different than being in practice shape and running half gases after practice. So it's two completely different things, especially in the playoff. But I feel like I gained that confidence back shortly in the Ohio State game and then leading into the LSU game. So I feel like I'm back.
As you watched last year and having to see the offense without you on the field, what do you think the tight ends didn't do effectively enough?
I actually think the tight ends had a great season last year. JC was asked to step up in a role. The year before that we had Milan, Cannon, Garrett, guys that have been here 4 or 5 years. And, JC just really took everybody under their wing, me not being there. I tried to be in their ears, but obviously I'm not out there to show them anything. And, we did a great job blocking. Obviously, everybody messes up a few times, people get down on themselves, but, we just got to keep working. But last year I feel like as a group we played great. I feel like Davis came in and was immediate impact. And Davis is going to be a great player. He's showing spurts out here in the spring, so we're just trying to be the best we can be.
Are you spending any extra time with Trevor? What's the relationship like? Are you guys trying to get on the same page?
Oh, yeah. We got some RVA time. We usually throw after practice probably once or twice a week. Come here on the weekend sometimes. And I'm working at, the tight end at a 5-man. So I'm working both positions. So I'm just trying to get my routes, like opening up my route tree, expanding that more. So
see you on the field as a receiver?
We'll see. That's the plan right now, though. I'm obviously tight end, but I am getting a few reps here and there at the 5-man. So,
do you think that a lot of that maybe is because you've got Sage and Jalen and JC and Davis? It's a pretty deep linebacker. A tight end group.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it definitely is, and we're very deep there, and we feel confident in every guy that's here to be able to go out there and make plays. So, I'm just doing whatever's asked of me, and I'm trying to do it to the best of my ability.
Are you doing more or the same in terms of catching passes in spring ball? Have you seen your production go up at all?
Yeah, compared to last year, I definitely see an increase in production. Maybe that's just because maybe some of the plays we're running, maybe just some of the calls that I'm getting, how we're doing the rotation, it might be that. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I definitely see my production going up.
What kind of receiver are you?
As physical as you can, as physical as you can be. I feel like I'm too fast for a linebacker, and I feel like corners are too small for me. So that's just how I feel about myself. I'm confident in my abilities to go out there and make plays at receiver or at tight end.
So for people that may not know, the 5-man is kind of the slot guy.
Correct.
So the tight end lines up in the slot. What's the difference between a tight end lining up in the slot and maybe running a 5-man route?
The biggest difference in our offense is pretty much who's to the field and who's to the boundary.
Sure.
Amari's most of the time to the field in the slot. And so, I mean, we can do different things, change the formations around to have me to the field, but we have the opportunity to, have another tight end in the game and then have me to the field. So just opening up that.
Are you the next Hunter Renfrow?
No. I'm not in that conversation yet.
But you got to feel like you're kind of a matchup nightmare for some guys.
I definitely believe that. Yep.
How much are you weighing right now?
I'm weighing. I ain't weighed in since last Thursday. I was 248 last Thursday. So around 250. I don't get any lower than 245. So 245 to 250.
When did you come in as a freshman?
Like 220.
You mentioned your relationship with Jordan Leggett. Can you talk a little bit more about that and kind of how well you know him, what kind of advice maybe he gives you, things like that?
The biggest thing he told me, I think, last time I talked to him in person was before we played Ohio State. He was kind of saying that, I guess leading up to his sophomore year, he wasn't really getting maybe the ball as much as he wanted to. Obviously, I was out my whole sophomore year, but we kind of compared that, and then he was just like, it was when they played Ohio State whenever he kind of like broke onto the scene. So he was just saying, go out there and play. It's just like any other game. It just so happens to be in the playoffs, but just go out there and do what you've been doing in practice, and just give me words of wisdom. Just keep my confidence up.
When Dabo talks about how difficult it is to play tight end, is that this might sound kind of dumb, but is that like across the board or just the Clemson system? Like, what about that position?
I feel like at least in modern day offenses that the tight end is one of the most challenging positions to play because you're blocking defensive ends, so you're lining up one play to block Xavier Thomas, to block Cleveland Farrell, guys like that, and then the next play you might be running around off Isaiah Simmons. So, or if he's blitzing, you might be picking up Isaiah Simmons in the blitz. So, you could be a matchup nightmare, and then obviously you can also get exposed at that position too because you're going against guys with a lot of versatility and what they can do. So.